What's up, metalheads? It's me, Donovan, here talking about the whole Phil Anselmo incident that has recently been talked about very frequently in the metal community by metal fans, etc., the internet, all that. So, at Dimebash 2016, the concert finished with Phil giving the Sieg Heil while concluding with White Power after that, and then heading backstage. So, Rob Flynn was really getting back. He was lashing out at Phil with all this evidence, saying that, that Phil is a racist and what he did was a really bully-like move. And Rob went on, saying that Phil was, totally wasted backstage, and he was saying really derogatory things about the early Machine Head era, saying that he was using some racist vocabulary, I guess, about that conversation or during that conversation. But the main question is saying that, is Phil a racist, or is he just, messing around as always? What I believe is that he definitely is messing around like, anyone else would. Who wouldn't make a racist joke, or who hasn't? You would have to be, a fucking liar to say that you've never made a racist joke in your life, because we all know that we have at least made one racist joke in our life. And you know what? And I'm not saying that it's a problem, but I'm not saying it's a good thing either. We all have some fucking sense of humor like that, and I get that. We all should be able to get that. But to look at him as a racist is something that I think that we're taking a little too far and over our heads. People are just completely just looking down on him, and they're not giving him a chance, or they definitely don't forgive him for what he did. But I think what people are more upset about is the fact that what Phil did became almost this big example, like stereotype of what metal is. Saying that metal is a racist genre of music, which definitely it isn't. But what Phil did is now going to create the stereotype that yes, it is now. But that's what I really feel that fans are more upset about, and that's what metal fans are upset about. Am I upset about this? Of course not, because I'm not going to let something like this be the end of me, or for what I do, what I love. Because I get it, people are going to fucking make jokes, or, what they claim is a joke. Phil says that it was an inside joke, but do I believe it? I can't really speak on that. I don't know. I'm not Phil. I wouldn't really know if it was a joke or not. I would have to be Phil to really know if it was a joke. But I definitely am not going to look down on the guy. I mean, the guy is, he's got a sense of humor. He seems like a really down-to-earth guy. So to think that he is a full-on racist would be ridiculous to believe that he is. So I definitely don't believe that he's a racist by any means. But what he did is something that I understand that he is regretful for. Because, he fucked up, and I get it that people always fuck up. In a case like that, they're not going to have a lot of popularity after that in a good way. But, as far as how metal fans are taking this, and music fans in general, I feel like we shouldn't let this get to us at all. We shouldn't let this get to us in ways that we're going to be like, oh, fuck Phil, fuck him, fuck Pantera, I'm not going to listen to the music. Just understand that, okay, what he did is what he did. He's sorry for it. And if you can't accept an apology from someone like Phil Anselmo, then you're practically saying that you can't accept an apology from anyone. Phil Anselmo is a human fucking being. He is made of skin and bone, just like all of us. So why would it be in anyone's right mind to think that it would be great to just look down upon him, So for Uncle Phil, I could just say, I understand, I forgive, I'm not pissed at what you've done, but I understand that you fucked up. And it's as simple as that. Let's move on with our lives. It's not going to do much better, especially since people on the internet are going to be giving their opinions, and they're going to be giving their insight on what they feel about Phil Anselmo. So, hey, that's just what the internet is really doing. A lot of the people on metal sucks, and Metal Hammer are going to be giving their insight and just give us a laugh for all of their comments. One more thing I'd like to say is that I understand, I guess, why people would be upset about this, and that's because metal was never intended to be a racist genre of music. I mean, heavy metal is not only just the music, but it's a subculture of the outcasted people who have a passion for really great music and also, I think, a really cool lifestyle. So I definitely know that racism is something that is never the first thing that comes to mind through a lot of people when they think heavy metal or they think of anything like satanic or anything, because I understand the satanic part, it has its part with metal, where it has its stereotypes with it, but you know what, I'm not going to focus on that. It's a part with the racism. But for any bands that are metal and they do have racist agendas, I'm glad I'm not a fan of them, and I never will be. I feel that National Socialist black metal and shit like that is something that's not going to get very far, because what's the point? Why add racism into a genre of music that has no intentions on showing any hate for races to begin with, or any culture for that matter? Well, you know what? Correct me on the culture part, because we do know that there are some metal bands that totally plunge, Christianity in a pretty, how do I put this, in a realistic way that, yeah, it can be plunged that way, because it's the truth. It is what it is. So that's all I really have to say about this. But 2016 looks like it's going to be quite the offended year again. So 2015 wasn't alone with that. But you know what? From the metal standpoint, all I could hope for is that a lot of you guys catch some really awesome shows, make a lot of new friends, and just keep it heavy as always, guys. But let's keep it tiny metal.